Hey, what is up guys? It is your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be talking about the best level 1 spells in Dota. What are the spells when you see the hero at the rune you should run away from? Or I guess just spells that are in general good at level 1. The reason why I'm making this video is I've been seeing this travesty as of late where people fight at the runes at level 1, or they fight in their lane at level 1. And they don't actually know who's supposed to win. What spell's good? What hero should I pick to dominate the lane in level 1? And so I'm going to be answering that question here today. Also, smash a like button and subscribe to help our channel grow. Apparently, 69% of you are not subscribed yet. Yes, that's an official statistic from YouTube. And also, what's the other stat? 70% of you don't have a GameLeap sub yet. And that's crazy, considering the other 30% are living lives of great grandeur. Alright, but now, let's get into the first spell that is broken in level 1, which is Gush. We're going to be starting off with my top 2 spells. Number 1 is Gush. Gush is the second best spell at level 1. Now, what is so good about this spell? I don't think people really understand what Gush means for Dota. Gush is really what carries Dota. The only reason why everyone hasn't stopped playing Dota right now is because of Gush. Well, there's also one other spell. But at level 1, Gush does a couple things. It does 110 damage, which is one of the highest damage nukes in the game that also provides some sort of lockdown, some sort of disable. And on top of that, it slows for 4 seconds by 40%. Yeah, 40%. Venomous scale is like 50%, but it scales down, right? If you guys know Gale, and it's not on this list, but if you know Gale, I guess I could have put it on this list, but not even everyone takes Gale. But the point is, you know, it's just 40% for 4 seconds. That's insane. A hero like CM gets dropped to like 150 movement speed. That's ridiculous. And that's not all. It's low mana, and it reduces armor by 4. I've talked about this with some other spells in Dota, probably the next spell on this list, but how can you trade when you have no armor? The answer is you can't, which is why with Tidehunter right now, if you guys have been paying attention to the professional scene, you know, just various team comms drafts that they've been running, you'll see a lot of Tide with Rubik, you'll see some Tide Lion, some Tide Shadow Shaman is a popular one. Tide with really any ranged hero that can auto attack is gonna get you a lot of kills, and frankly, I recommend you do it in your pubs as well. Next up on the list, the best spell of all time. The greatest level 1 spell after it's been buffed. The greatest level 1 spell of all time is Acid Spray. My god, is Acid Spray good. Alchemist at level 1, and people are still taking Grievel's Greed at level 1. What an absolute travesty that is. I mean, imagine skipping out on the best spell in the game. Now, why is this the case? Besides the fact that it does damage in a massive AoE, and it basically creates Shrek Swamp, what else does it do? It reduces armor by 4. Think about combining this with Gush. Oh yeah. Alright, well, Acid, it's just an AoE and it does this, which really, it has more effects than people know. Besides the fact that it's armor reduction in an AoE, contrary to Gush's single target, you know, you can trade with multiple heroes that stand in the Acid. On top of that, it shoves in the lane. Gush doesn't shove in the lane. Sure, it's a lot of damage to one hero, probably more than Acid, but it doesn't push in the creep wave. Now, why is this so strong, pushing in the creep wave? Because players don't understand how this works. They see Acid, they're like, you know, it doesn't do that much damage. It's 20 per second, it's, you know, it's alright. But it reduces all the creeps damage as well. So if you try to trade into it, the creeps are going to die faster as well, the enemy creeps, which means the wave's going to shove in, which also means you're going to tank creep aggro and more creep aggro than the Alk will tank. And so all in all, it ends up just being this absolute clown fiesta where no matter who you trades into Acid, just loses. And if you guys have been watching any RTC Alk, what you'll notice is he actually just Acids the first like 3 waves. I'm not kidding. This is not an over-exaggerate. He actually just shoved it in, shoved it in, shoved it in, shoved it in, and they have no HP. They cannot trade. They die, like most games. Alright, next up on the list. I had to put him on the list, come on, but it's Techies. Techies, I mean, Blast Off. You can't argue with this. 300 damage at level 1 in an AoE that silences for, what, 3 seconds? I mean, you gotta give it some respect. Whether or not you like Techies, it is what it is. It's a lot of AoE damage. You pair it with a stun, and you blast off. Now, the biggest reason why people don't necessarily use this properly, in fact, some people even take mines at level 1, is because they don't use it for chip damage. Guys, you don't have to use it to finish the kill. When I see a lot of Techies players playing Techies, that would make sense. They use Blast Off to secure kills, rather than to chip people down. Yes, it does reduce your HP by half as well, which is quite the bummer, but at the end of the day, you cast it, you take a bunch of damage, hopefully you don't die, that's up to you to determine, and then you do it again, and you commit suicide, hopefully, with the second Blast Off. Next up, I guess I had to put this here. I put a couple here, 2 in particular, that just summon units, and that is Treants, Nature's Prophet, and Summon Spirit Bear. You know, technically, if you think about it, what would Lone Druid be if you removed Summon Spirit Bear? The hero would be completely useless, so, you know, you know what I mean? Like, I guess Prophet could technically do things without Treants, and like Lycan could be okay because he amps his damage a bit, and what else? Yeah, I'm not gonna try to think of the rest, but nonetheless, these 2 spells at level 1, you know, just giving yourself the advantage to get that CS and deny, early denies, early CS advantage on these heroes is so powerful. Now, they did nerf the heck out of it on Summon Spirit Bear and Treants. You know, it was really funny in the past, you could actually just deny like the first 8 creeps of the game with these heroes. I mean, the amount of damage they did was it was pretty stupid. It really was pretty dumb. But yeah, I had to put them on the list. Next up is DECAY. Even though they nerfed it in like the last patch, or somewhat of the last patch, I don't remember which one it was. It was like 3-4 patches ago. It doesn't matter. DECAY at level 1. You know, even though people are just really bad at using DECAY, which sounds insane. It's like, Speed, what do you mean they're really bad at using DECAY? Like, how could you be bad at using DECAY? Oh, Speed, I know what you're about to say. You're about to say they don't go for 2-man decays when they should. Well, even though that is a good point, Jimmy, you know, they should go for 2-man decays. However, they also just don't use it enough. Like, I literally see Undyings at rune fights just walk up, contest the rune, and then walk away. And it's just like, I don't understand. Like, why did you pick Undying? Why did you pick Undying? If you're not going to trade level 1 with this hero at every single time possible, including rune fights, including before the creeps even meet, including when you load into the game, if you're not running down mid trying to get off decays, what are you doing? Now, that's not fully true. You shouldn't run down mid to get decays. You should run into their fountain to get decays. And when you do this, you're going to quickly realize that you're the strongest hero at level 1, besides when you have to run into Gush and Acid Spray then. I mean, what are you going to do? Come on. It's just unbalanced. Next up on the list is Enchant. So, Enchant at level 1. If you do not block the hard camp against Enchant, you will lose the lane 9 out of 10 times. I've learned this the hard way. Me and my position 4 player, Dubla, have had very serious, long, in-depth talks about why you have to block the large camp against Enchant, because if you don't, she gets a tomato and it claps you. And really, that's about it. But yeah, what hero can trade with a large camp at level 1? The answer is Crystal Maiden and Mirana, but that's it, you know. That's, I guess the old Doom, but not New Doom. New Doom can't. New Doom actually gets destroyed by it because he has no armor. Coming in, around number 7 is Timberchain. Yeah, this spell, it got buffed a lot. It got buffed a lot. It costs 60 mana, which is literally nothing. It does 100 damage, pure. On top of that, it's a 4-second cooldown, and they increase the range and the speed at level 1. So, So basically, the spell is just really, everything about it is just good. You can use it to harass, because it's pure damage, a lot of pure damage on a low cooldown for low mana, so you can harass people with it, you can last hit with it, and you can disengage with it. It really is one of the big reasons why you'll see Timbers getting first pick right now. Because they made Timberchain so dang good at level 1, people are skilling it up and just like spamming it on people. They spam it on it. Like, literally, you just get chain. You can't really trade with it, especially when he hits level 2, level 3, right? It's just brutal. And so that's kind of what people are doing with Timber right now, and it's absolutely stomping pubs. Then we have Fissure from Earthshaker. You know, technically, if you only could have 1 skill point, let's say every hero in Dota could only have 1 skill and 1 point in their skill, which would be an awful game. No one would play that. But let's say it existed. Fissure would probably be one of the best ones, if not the best one, just because the spell at level 1 is maybe the most versatile spell in Dota. It blocks waves, it blocks lanes, it sets up for kills, it blocks heroes into lanes, it secures range creeps really easily. Like, there's not a lot of heroes that do this as well. You know, Shards, it's low damage. Cogs, sure, it does kind of the same thing, but like, low damage doesn't block heroes off from lanes as easily. Fissure is just so valuable, even with 1 skill point. Sure, it might not stun for too long, but it's frankly good enough, and yeah, that's why Fissure's on the list. It literally is just like the best value point in Dota that you can leave at level 1 and be really happy about. I guess Gush is really good though too at level 1. Next up on the list is Metamorphosis, which is Terrorblade's 3rd ability. Some people call it his 2nd ultimate or his actual ultimate, the real ultimate. And what people do wrong in this spell is they don't use it at level 1. They'll either use it at a rune fight, which is just not that good, because then you don't have it for the waves, the early waves, which is when TB struggles. But if you use it for the early waves, which, as I just said, is when you want to use it, you just kind of destroy people. Most heroes cannot lane when TB is meta. There's a few exceptions, but frankly, like, most heroes just get walloped, and a good TB player will make you be like, I thought I beat TB in lane. And you'll quickly come to realize, yeah, maybe I beat him in lane when his meta's down, but when meta's up and they're spamming it constantly, it's really, really hard to lane into, especially considering the fact that they've removed the movement speed nerf. So in the past, if you popped meta, you would lose a lot of movement speed, which would make Terrorblade really easy to gank and really easy to run away from. But they got rid of that, and now you just get run down. Some decent attack moving from Terrorblade's meta, and you can lose half of your HP for going for one creep. And last, but certainly not on the list, is a spell that I technically could have put with Summon Spirit Bear and Nature's Call, but the reason why it's actually better is because it sacks the creeps, and that is Enigma's Demonic Conversion. This hero without Demonic Conversion would be so bad at level 1. Malefice at level 1, pretty mediocre. Midnight Pulse at level 1, pretty mediocre. However, Demonic Conversion, this spell is nutty at level 1. The fact that you can deny range creeps, deny creeps, last hit creeps with Eidolons, trade very efficiently. The only downside to these things is the gold that they give, which makes a lot of sense. They're so strong, and the spell is so strong in level 1 that if it didn't give 20 gold, or like 21, 22 gold per Eidolon for killing it, no one would even want to lane against Enigma. No one would try to kill the Eidolons. But if you're playing against Enigma, yeah, try to kill the Eidolons. It's like the way to counter the hero. They're really easy to kill. They give a lot of gold, quite a bit of XP. But at the end of the day, it is one of the most versatile spells at level 1. But thank you guys for watching. If you think I missed anything, I mean, honestly, I'm curious to see, do you think I'm wrong? Maybe like Jug Spin, you'd say, you know, it's a lot of damage. Maybe you'd say Hellburst Smasher. Technically, it's not a hero, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Did I miss anything? Is there anything you want to talk about? Ice Armor? That's a good one. That's a good. I could have put this on the list. But all right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. And get your game leaps up right now. And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below. And I'm out. Peace.